Welcome to Pleasantview. A lot has happened in 25 years. Mortimer Goth made his fortune, the Pleasants put down roots, and a new generation of Sims was born. But the peaceful, happy existence is in jeopardy when some new arrivals to Pleasantview start stirring up trouble, creating rivalries and tensions for all the families in the neighborhood. Can anything be done to restore the peace to sleepy, idyllic Pleasantview? Come along with me while we acquaint ourselves with each and every household to discover the answer to that question. Next up, the Pleasants. They live right here on 215 Sim Lane, a rather well-off family with a total net worth of 103,349 simoleons. On the surface, Daniel and Mary Sue Pleasant seem to have the perfect life. But is their love a flimsy facade? And can Angela and Lilith make the right choices when it comes to love? From enemies and betrayal to neglect and broken dreams, the Pleasants have a slew of problems that are brewing right beneath the surface. And unfortunately, that stew is about to boil right over. Let's take a look.
Chadiga? Kabul to Kuchu? Ugh!
As soon as we enter the residence, we get a foreboding message of what's to come. Who says good help is hard to find? Daniel has his eye on the maid and wants a little romance, but will his decision threaten family unity? As if this family has any unity to begin with. The perfect Pleasants are perfectly unpleasant, and every member is a piece of a long broken puzzle. But how and why has this family fallen so far from their portrayal of happy suburban life? Let's start with husband and father, Daniel Pleasant. Almost right away, we get a pretty good idea of why the family is suffering, and why Daniel may be having a hard time with family life. He is a romance sim, with all the normal wants that a romance sim gets, and his social, as his yellow bubble currently states, is severely lacking. He's also a cold fish, with a lifetime want to become a Hall of Famer. Since his father Jeff died without achieving his dream of going to Mars, Daniel has felt an overwhelming guilt. Daniel is a Virgo, and he's slightly more neat, active, and nice than he is sloppy, lazy, and grouchy. He's also pretty shy, and a bit more serious than he is playful. He's also close to becoming overweight, which is a big fear of his. It's also fairly odd, considering the fact that when we head over to his career and skills panel, we see that he is an assistant coach in the athletic career track and has completely maxed out his body skill. He also has 6 points in mechanical and 6 in charisma. Daniel's interests are money, health, sports, and travel, and he's yet to have an official hobby. Daniel's turn-ons include both fat and fit sims, really any sim who doesn't wear a hat. Diving into his memories, we can see that his feelings of entrapment began quite young. Daniel met Mary Sue when they were children and began pursuing her as a teenager. However, she rejected him for a kiss and left him high and dry. Daniel didn't give up though, and he soon got out of her that very first kiss. They then went steady, a memory Daniel does not think fondly of at all. I guess I have to confine myself to just this sim now, but I just don't know if I can keep my word. Against his more prominent desires, Daniel found himself in love with and engaged to Mary Sue. Yet another normally glorious moment tarnished in Daniel's memories. I don't know if this was really a good idea for a sim like me. And then came marriage. I can't believe a sim like me actually tied the knot. I wonder if I can stick to it. But his memory of his first woohoo with her was positive, of course. The memories of both his daughters being born are also positive for him, but it seems he's only managed to teach one of his daughters any toddler skills at all, Angela. We can also see that Angela continuously grew up well, but the same could not be said for Lilith. We find the very first instance of Daniel's betrayal right before his daughters became teenagers, a kiss of passion that Daniel remembers fondly. He then fell in love, or lust, with Kaylin after his daughters aged up. Also interesting is the fact that Daniel has made an enemy of his daughter Angela's boyfriend Dustin, which we already knew, but what we don't see here is a meeting with Lilith's boyfriend Dirk. It seems that Daniel highly favors Angela over Lilith and has no problem showing it. In fact, he has a relationship score of -20 with Lilith, which means that he's much closer to being an enemy of hers than a friend. His score with Angela isn't that great either, only 20, but it's still significantly better than her sister's. Either way, it looks like Daniel here may not be the most attentive father in the neighborhood. Now let's head over to his wife, Mary Sue, to see how she's contributed to the downfall of this family. Right away, we can see that Mary Sue has a penchant for working hard, getting those promotions, and bringing in lots of simoleons. Mary Sue is a fortune sim known as the Big Cheese, and her lifetime one is to run 5 top-level businesses. Mary Sue's fears revolve around her losing her job, losing money, and losing her man. Deep down, maybe she already suspects what he's been up to. Active and friendly, Mary Sue believes people are inherently good. She enjoys pottery, or used to, when she had the time. From this, we can deduce that Mary Sue is heavily invested in her career and has had very little time for anything else, including her family. Mary Sue is a Gemini, and as her traits will show, her bio is a little bit inaccurate. Mary Sue is more on the active side and is actually on her way to being fit. However, she's not that nice. In fact, she's rather grouchy and serious. She is, however, very outgoing, and she's neither sloppy nor neat. Heading into her career and skills panel, we can see that even though Mary Sue is a workaholic, she's only ever managed to maintain her place as a level 2 intern in the politics career. She also only has 2 points in charisma and logic, and 1 in cleaning, hardly enough to achieve much success in her chosen field. Mary Sue's interests include politics, money, food, culture, and paranormal. And since she's been hard at work, she no longer has a hobby. Her turn-ons include creative Sims who are neat and tidy, as long as they don't smell of cologne. Diving into her memories will reveal that Mary Sue had a fairly wonderful life, filled with many positive memories. For every negative memory Daniel had in regards to their increasing relationship, Mary Sue gained a positive one. We also see that Mary Sue taught Angela how to walk and talk, yet still we see nothing for Lilith, which means that no one here taught her any of her toddler skills. No wonder she kept growing up badly. We can also see that Mary Sue's final memory is of getting a promotion, which means that for years she stayed on the bottom rung as a campaign worker, even though she's effectively devoted her whole life to the cause. She's so desperate to climb that ladder that she doesn't mind pushing her whole family to the curb in order to do so. Also of note is that her relationship with her daughters is the same as Daniel's. It's clear who the favorite is with both parents. Now let's move on to their daughters, Angela and Lilith. Both Angela and Lilith are popularity Sims, and they both have the want to go to college, but their similarities end there. Angela is Miss Popularity, while Lilith is a maladjusted misfit. Angela's lifetime want is to have 20 simultaneous best friends, but Lilith's is to become Captain Hero. For the moment, let's focus on Angela and see why, perhaps, she's her parents' favorite. Angela is patient and dutiful. She dreams of being a fishing boat captain. Angela is an Aquarius and is a little sloppy, pretty shy, very active, quite playful, and neither too nice nor too grouchy. She's also fit. Angela has a B average in school and has 3 cooking skill points. Her interests include entertainment, environment, culture, fashion, and animals. She's attracted to charismatic Sims who wear glasses, but just like her father, despises a Sim in a hat. Diving into her memories shows us much of what we already know, from learning her toddler skills to going steady with her boyfriend Dustin, from giving Dustin that very first kiss we witnessed in the Broke household, to her meeting Mortimer in the club downtown. Angela is pretty much covered. The only other thing to note here is that Angela has been enemies with her twin sister Lilith ever since they became teenagers. Now that we've learned all about Angela, let's head on over to Lilith. Lilith had it harder than her twin sister, so she says, which, just isn't fair. Well, from what we've seen, she's unfortunately completely correct. Lilith is, of course, also an Aquarius, but except for being active and shy, her traits with her sister differ drastically. Lilith is very sloppy, halfway between serious and playful, and is pretty grouchy. She also has an average body weight, despite being active. Lilith has suffered in school, and as such only has a D- grade, which she'll need to change pretty quickly if she wants to get into college. Unlike her sister, she has no skill points in anything, which we can blame on the obvious neglect by her parents. Lilith's interests include crime, food, health, culture, paranormal, toys, and sci-fi. Quite a wide assortment, which is good. Lilith has a thing for Sims who wear makeup and jewelry, but is grossed out by custom hair. Going into her memories shows us what we already knew. Lilith went through all her years completely unseen and unloved by her parents, which caused her hatred for her entire family, including her sister Angela. We can also see this wonderful little memory of Lilith having her very first woohoo with Dirk. We all remember that little occasion. In a nutshell, Daniel is a romance sim stuck in an unloving marriage. Mary Sue is a workaholic desperate for her turn at the top. Angela is feeling the pressure of being the good sister, and Lilith is acting out her anger on the people that have never shown her her worth. This family is held together by stitches, and unfortunately, it's all about to get torn wide open. So now that we know all about the Pleasant family, let's go about their day and watch everything unravel right before our very eyes. Right away, Daniel begins performing romantic interactions on Mary Sue, while the girls immediately go for each other's throats. We've got a lot of work to do here. I love how they just completely ignore their kids fighting while they dance together. Like, there's no way they can't hear what's going on in the very next room. Ignorance is bliss for them, I guess. And there they go, they've just gotten a crush on each other again, while their daughter cries in the background. How romantic. And again they're fighting. And again their parents are ignoring the entire thing is happening. Well, it looks like the bus has arrived for the girls and the carpool for Mary Sue, which means that we are going to be stuck with Daniel and his dirty ways for the next several hours. Since Daniel has a big fear of gaining weight, I'm going to send him to get a little bit of a workout in to burn some of those extra calories he may be hanging on to. Work it, Daniel. Look at that face! Now that's how you know it's a good workout. I think Daniel may be done here. Right on time, the maid, Kaylin Langrak, has arrived. Oh, you're lucky, Daniel. Okay, let's do this. So Daniel's gonna make a few very smooth moves on Kaylin on the couch, right in front of the window because he's a lousy cheater, before we send them both over to the bed to fulfill that one of his. I feel really bad about doing this, but this is what Daniel wants, so we're gonna let him do this. Alright, it's time. Let's send them over. Well, here we go. We have just gotten a chance card for Mary Sue. Unbeknownst to Daniel, whatever Mary Sue chooses here will not go over well with her higher-ups, and she is going to be making an unexpected early return. And here it is. Mary Sue has just unfortunately been fired from the job she's given all of her life, time, and energy to. Not only that, she's going to come home early, and she's of course going to catch him cheating on her with the maid. Can you even imagine how horrible that must be? As Daniel and Kaylin head off to the bedroom, Mary Sue arrives home, and she's immediately going to go into aspiration failure. There she goes, she's falling onto the pavement, and she is having a mental breakdown. All while her husband waits for the maid to get into that bed. The therapist has arrived to pull her out of her dark times, but that isn't stopping Daniel and Kaylin from having their very first woohoo together. I can already hear the boing of betrayal. Well, Mary Sue has caught them, and she's just waiting for Daniel to get off that mattress to smack him into next Tuesday. What's worse is that the girls have also just come home, and Angela is proudly waving about her good report card. She's so happy. And she realizes, she just has realized what her father has done. And look at Kaylin, look at her, just wandering around in her underwear. The nerve of her, the absolute nerve. If I were Mary Sue, and she's thinking about woohoo while Daniel goes into aspiration failure. Oh no, 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 no. You are not going to sit there on that couch while you just had an affair with the woman's husband. Have at her, Mary Sue. She's like, you dirty rat. And Kaylin's like, yeah, I am a dirty rat. Well, you know what? Get out. Get out of her house. Go. She's like, bye. This is how Mary Sue deals with all her troubles. You go, Mary Sue. You release all that anger. Look at Dustin just staring at Angela. Well, it looks like Dustin is trying to communicate with Lilith, and she is not having it. You'd think these two would get along. We are going to have Mary Sue call up her very best friend Cassandra to come on over and cheer her up after this tragedy. She really needs a friend to talk to, and she really needs some direction. She feels like Cassandra can give her just that. Cassandra has arrived, so we're going to have Mary Sue go and greet her while Lilith and Dustin try to get along, and I love how he just gets up and walks away. Well, Mary Sue has just begun panhandling in front of her house on the sidewalk. She is not taking this job loss well at all. She's like, don't even mind the big expensive house behind me. I need money. I am a fortune sim. I just lost my job. Of course, Kaylin wants to see Daniel, so we're going to say yes to that so that they can go and talk and see where they stand right now. Wait, what? Oh my god, Angela! First Lilith, now Angela, and again in the parents' bedroom with everyone just chilling outside. I guess this is how Dustin plans on making a good impression. Well, I guess Daniel can go now. Okay, so Kaylin and Daniel have just arrived downtown, and he immediately wanted to, slow dance with Kaylin, and then he rolled a ton of romantic interactions to perform during the slow dance. So he wanted to lay his head on her shoulder, so we've done that for him. Now he wants to give her a little bit of a smooch. So there they go. Daniel has no shame, none at all. And now he wants to lower his hands on her. So much for talking, I guess. Daniel, you dirty dog. So now the two of them have decided to get into the hot tub and relax a little bit, and now everybody in the hot tub is talking about kissing, and now they're talking about snow. Well, I think Daniel should really get on home and maybe talk to his wife for a change. So, whoa, could those things be any smaller? Maybe that's why Kaylin likes him so much. So we're calling the cab to go home. And now we're just waiting here, and I'm not sure exactly why we're waiting. Oh god. Oh god, he's waiting for Kaylin. Oh my god. He's going to take Kaylin back to the house with him. Well, this surely can't cause any kind of trouble at all for him. Well, there she is, and here we go. But you know what? There is no way that Mary Sue is going to put up with this. She is going to go over to that maid, and she is going to start a fight. She's going to tell her to get off of her property. But of course the daughters start a fight, and Mary Sue gets distracted before she can actually go through with it. And right now she's really, really worried about the safety of her daughters. I mean, she could separate them anytime she wants to, but she's just too worried. She's just been through so much today that she just can't bring herself to do it. Let's see if Lilith actually wins this fight. Seems like she always loses. Oh, she lost again. And now she smells. Poor Lilith. Well, with that out of the way now, Mary Sue can finally go on up and give this woman another piece of her mind. How dare you step foot back into my house? I told you once, and I'll tell you again. Get out of my house, get off of my property, and stay away from my husband. Well, Mary Sue is really tired, and there is absolutely no way that Daniel is going to be the one laying claim to this bed tonight. So, of course, Mary Sue doesn't have the option to wake him up, so we're going to cancel out Daniel's sleeping, and you know what, he can just get out of that bed and head on over to the couch if he needs his rest. Have fun with that, Daniel. And Mary Sue, you go on ahead and get yourself some shut-eye. You've had a really rough day and you really need your sleep. Cassandra! No, absolutely not. I would never have guessed it. Another shocker, Cassandra is being mean to poor Goopy Gills Carbo. Aw, and now he's gonna go cry. What is up with you, Cassandra? Wow. Oh no, don't you even get any ideas, Daniel. She is completely off limits. Cassandra, you stop that right now. Look at Daniel just looking at Dustin. And then Dustin just plants a huge one on Angela right in front of him, like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it? And now I think it's time for Daniel to get some sleep. He's really, really tired now. But you know, Lilith doesn't seem to care about that. She is going to turn that TV on and not let her dad sleep. She's like, after what you did to Mom? Where's she going? To stomp on the flowers, of course. And that'll show them. That'll show them all. Now that Lilith has taken all her anger out on the flower beds, we are going to send her off to sleep. In fact, I think that this entire dysfunctional family needs to get all the rest that they can and reflect on everything that's happened today. And as for Mary Sue, I guess we're just going to have to wait until the morning to see how she intends to move forward with her husband's betrayal and her life in general. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this intro, please be sure to leave a like and maybe even a comment. Subscribe to the channel if you like this content, and if you're just passing through, I hope you'll join me again. Next up, we'll be playing the Burb family to see if parents John and Jennifer have made the right choice in moving their daughter Lucy from the fast-paced city to the calm, quiet suburbs. Will they thrive here in Pleasantview? And will they perhaps learn that there's more to each other than meets the eye? Check back in soon to find out.